Good afternoon and welcome to Real Chicks Rock Presents Real Discussions. I'm your host for today, Michelle Dosbert, and as always, I'm extremely excited to be here today. With the current climate of everything that's going on with COVID-19, the coronavirus, yes, I am very happy to be here today. It's just a very different, difficult climate, things that are going on. I thank you guys for you that are watching. I'm glad that you guys are healthy, that you guys are staying in place, staying at home, and being safe as we deal through this. But today is no different, right? We still wanted to be able to give you an opportunity to join us today. It is the first of the month, first Sunday of the month. I'm always here every first and third Sunday, so that has not changed. I'm just honored that I was able to have my guests join me today remotely because we're all staying in place today. My topic for today is how to handle your merchandise. And I have some women that are really pretty good in doing that. And before I introduce them, I just want to give our new listeners a little background about what Real Chicks is all about. We're all about creatively collaborating, connecting, and raising awareness about issues regarding women. And we do it through so many different platforms. We do it through our community service. We do it through mentoring. We do it through our products and our t-shirt line, and we do it through this platform. This platform has been very near and dear to my heart. We are about to do our fourth season. This is our fourth season starting in a couple of weeks. And so we've been able to use this platform to talk about issues that impact us. And so today is no different. So again, the topic is how to handle your merchandise, especially with everything that's going on in the current environment. And I have two beautiful women with me today. I have Tasha LeRae and I have the t-shirt lady. Hi, ladies. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
Hey.
Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me. Ladies, I'm going to start it off. Tasha, give me a little bit of background about yourself.
Well, I am a country little girl from originally from Omaha, Nebraska, but I've been a Georgia native for the past 20 years. I am creative in all sense of the word creativity. I sing, songwriting, designing, whether it's jewelry or t-shirts or, teaching. 'Cause I love doing this. I love teaching some of the things that I know as well. But I have a heart and passion for creativity and making something out of nothing and have it impact people's lives in a positive way.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks for joining us, Tasha. The t-shirt lady. Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, a little bit about myself. I'm originally from New York City. I moved
Mm-hmm.
here to Atlanta in '01. I don't like to give myself too many labels. I just call myself a creative entrepreneur.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome, awesome. And you have a standing business, right? Tell us where your shop is. Where's your store located for those that don't know?
My store is actually located in East Atlanta, 490 Flat Shows Avenue, in East Atlanta Village.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what kind of merchandise do you do, t-shirt lady? It's not just t-shirts. It's a little bit of everything, isn't it?
A little bit of everything. I don't really have a particular niche in particular, but I, of course, do t-shirts, my main thing. But we also specialize in promotional items. I mean, from banners to keychains to buttons to lapel pins to business cards. I mean, anything you can name to promote actually your business. So I mean, I cater to individuals, but I cater mostly to business owners.
Okay, fantastic. A little bit of reason. Tell us why. How did you get into this? Because you've been doing this for quite some time, and a lot of us are still kind of new or not as seasoned as yourself. So tell us, how did you get into the business?
Whew, long story. I'm gonna make it brief though. Initially, I was selling clothing.
Okay.
And I just noticed the trends of what was selling, what was not selling. I noticed tops was selling more than bottoms.
Mhm.
So I realized that, hey, I'm missing out on something. And then on top of that, I had people that would come into my shop. Granted, this is in '03 when I first
Mhm.
started my business. And
Mhm.
I noticed people would come in, they want something to match with something, and I couldn't do it. And I was saying no too much. So I pretty much got online, I think probably like in '04, and just said, hey, how do you make t-shirts? And that's how I started.
Mm.
I just switched my business from, having things on the shelf or have things on the rack to actually making them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. Awesome. And so you've been doing this now for almost what, almost 16, 17, 18
Well,
years now?
actually April. This is April. This makes 17 years.
That's right. April's a hot month, man. April's a
Yeah.
hot month. So Tasha, for you, being an artist and a musician and just being so creative, how did you get into merchandising and why did you think it was important for you to do so?
Well, when I started traveling and touring a lot. I would meet so many people around the world, and you're on stage, you're in front of a lot of people. And when I would get off stage, people were like, "Oh my God, I love your earrings. I want them. Where can I get them?" Or "I love your shirt. I love your whatever." And so to kind of maximize your reach as an artist, to be able to create something that they can include in their everyday life makes the interaction between artist and fan like that much more special. So I started with making earrings and then went to school for fashion merchandising about 3 years later because I wanted to learn the whole fashion industry. Like I just got, oh, sorry about that.
Okay.
I just got really, into the fashion industry itself and I wanted to know everything about it. And so I went to school for fashion merchandising. And about 6 months after I graduated, I started the Racism Sucks fashion movement.
Okay.
And that started out with just t-shirts. And I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just like, okay, had a design, went to someone to press some shirts, and then just got into this whole world of designing t-shirts and learning e-commerce all at the same time.
Mm-hmm. So Tasha, how has that been for you? How has the response been for you, especially since you started? And don't just gloss over it, your brand, Racism Sucks. How has the response been for you since you created that?
So the message itself was something that I personally wanted to wear on the shirt. And it was to express my frustration and not even to be able to fully express what I was feeling about the whole issue that we have with racism within America, really within the world, but concentrated in America. So once I put that on the shirt and I started wearing it, the overwhelming response that I got from others, it gave me some hope. And depending on who it was that responded to the shirt, at times it allowed for some healing to take place. Because with the issues of racism, like there are underlying issues that we don't even know that are there. We have some underlying biases and some just thought process that are there. We don't even realize it until someone does something or makes a gesture or says something that totally, contradicts some of the things that you thought. So with the response being so overwhelming, I started with just when I was somewhere, I had the shirts with me and people would buy them like I would sell out. And then I started selling them online and still navigating that space. But, I was managing the inventory at my house. I would buy in bulk. And then I was in control of how fast I could ship these out to customers, what their packages actually looked like. I could do my own quality control to make sure that everything looked good and there weren't, any hanging strings or holes or anything like that. And I loved being that hands-on, but it did have its own limitations. And when I switched from doing the inventory, having it up front versus adding drop shipping to my business model, it allowed for me to reach more people faster. And then I was also able to expand the product line. So it's still a great learning curve. And because of the sensitivity of the movement, it's almost as if when there's a wave of something that happens that brings attention to the issue of racism, then the website gets flooded with stuff. But once it seems to kind of subside a little bit and everything's cool, then there's really no traffic to it. And then as soon as something else happens, it goes back again. So it goes in waves. And I think the biggest thing for me is throughout that whole thing, when customers come back to me and say, I wore your shirt and this older gentleman came up to me and said this, or I ended up having a conversation with somebody I probably never would have said anything to before. Those things gave me hope. And it also helped me to know that I was doing my part to help keep that conversation at the forefront so it stopped getting put under the rug so we can really deal with some of the issues that we have and really make some real progress towards change.
Awesome. Amazing. I wanted to ask you, for those that are listening, what does drop shipment mean by definition?
Absolutely. So drop shipping is if you have a product that you want, and really it's drop shipping, but it's also print on demand. I'll say both of them. So drop shipping is if you have a product that you want to offer, but you don't have it in your studio space, you can offer it on a website using pictures and descriptions. And then once somebody clicks on that, then there's another company or building somewhere else that has the merchandise that you're selling, and they'll ship it to the customer on your behalf. So if you're a small business owner like me, that makes you feel like you have a partner when it comes to the shipping, which makes it does make it light years either or easier. But part of the problem is I won't touch those packages before my customer gets it. So I don't know if that t-shirt has a hole in it. I don't know if the mug was packed good enough so that it doesn't get broken. So you do have those types of things you have to go for trusting. But if you're doing print on demand, which is also the same thing, you can offer a product, but a company will print your shirts for you as the orders come in. So you don't have to house inventory in your home or in your studio space. As soon as that order comes in, you can make that one item and ship it to that customer and still be able to run a business. So right now my business is 50-50. So I still have merchandise. And so sometimes I'll ship stuff out to my customers if it's in my warehouse. And then if it's an item that I've connected with another company, then they'll send the stuff out.
Awesome. That's amazing. That's a total virtual store. So that's great so that people can understand that. And we're going to come back. I got some more questions there. I want to switch it up a little bit to the t-shirt lady because I just frequent that place. Sometimes I'm just in there for the vibe because I like to see all of the merchandise in there. To me, I know that brick and mortar is so much that goes into making sure that store still stands, right? And I think your location is key. It's a very diverse neighborhood, very friendly. People come in there based on your logo. Your logo draws people in there because the way we see this beautiful face today, that's what it looks like on every image, on things that she packages, on her business cards, on the little thank you card that you get in your order, everything on the window, on the store. So for you, T, when people come into your store, it's just a totally different experience, so much so that you have to do almost appointments because it can be overwhelming at times. Is that true? Is that correct?
Definitely. I have some people actually that, well, at one point got upset because I started doing by appointments.
Okay.
But then the ones that were disappointed in that would come in and I would have 6, 7 people, 8 people. Yes. And they realized, okay, I see why. And I mean, we implemented the appointments, me and my son and I, due to the fact that we wanted to give customers that one-on-one, yeah. With each person. We don't want them to feel like, oh, give me your logo, we want to print it. Okay, next, we want to kind of be able to kind of give you a brief consultation of what you're getting, because a lot of times, most of my clients come in and it's their first time getting something printed. Mm-hmm. So I'm a part of a lot of new businesses starting. So I love that part of my business because I get to see them start something, and you'd be amazed how many people come in and they cry, like literally. This is stuff that's been happening since I started making t-shirts for years, that people will cry. It could be whether I did shirts for them for someone that passed away and captured a tear that was on the picture. I have amazing stories on that, but we definitely had to do by appointments because we wanted to give people that more one-on-one interaction. Mm-hmm. And as the other young lady said, with drop shipping and print on demand, I get requests for that all the time. Mm-hmm. And the reason why people request it, and which I can't fulfill like that at the moment, which I'm actually looking into seeing how I can compete. But when you know what your quality is like, if a person already had experience with you, they know what their clients are going to get. So you have these big factories out there, not saying that they don't do good work, but these big factories out here, they don't have a connection with you and your customer. Mm-hmm. So when they print, put in the bag, they got people in the warehouse, they don't monitor. Like me, I'm real tedious when it comes to my work. So, I mean, one little thing and I'm not going to print the shirt all over again, so it's something to have a space where people can actually come into and support you, where you can actually, they can actually speak with you. If they didn't like the quality, they can come back and say, hey, I wasn't really that happy with this and that. And you can say, what was the problem? You can explain to them why that print looked the way it looked, because every time you print, you don't print with the same printing method. Mm-hmm. As well, I'm online as well. So I have a balance of both. Right now, I'm just totally online. I do have a store sitting there waiting on me. Yeah.
It is very informational, T, when I come to the store. because it is an opportunity to learn, because we don't know shirts, we don't know the quality of the shirt, we don't know how the transformation of the print takes place. And then, you show off because you're doing the shirts right there, right? And so your son, hi Vincent, that's my representative. He handles my I wanted to shout him out. He does a good job. But you guys are actually able to create the product right there. And so that really creates a connection with the customer, because they know what the end result is going to be, and they immediately place an order for how many more shirts or whatever the product is going to be. So it's good. I think it's very powerful because you guys are ladies, women in business doing this. And this isn't a market that's typically for us, right? It's more men, or it's more of a bigger company that's doing it. But I think that because we are more grassroots and we kind of connect with our audience, the quality is very important, right? The way a t-shirt sits on a female versus a male is important to us. The colors, the font, everything. We're very hands-on as to how that's going to be. And now the times are changing. I'm in like kind of both of those places, because I don't have the brick and mortar, but I think people expect me to be like a mobile store, right? So they expect me to still have t-shirts in my car, right? And they want me to sell it from my car. And I don't want to seem vain, but I really want my customers to reach out to me through an e-commerce platform, because I don't want to carry merchandise. After a while, it becomes unsafe. You damage your merchandise carrying it around in the trunk of your car all the time. It's better to sit in a safe, quality control, control environment, so everything is fine with the product, versus having it in the trunk of your car. I don't want to necessarily always do that. So it's an educational process. And I think now that because of everything with COVID-19 and the coronavirus, we are having to do things online now, right? Down to our groceries. So hopefully this will change the way that we do business in a better way, in a more e-commerce way. Some people I know don't want to pay shipping. So they rather want to see me and deal with it that way and knock off a few dollars with shipping than to pay the shipping. And I'm like, but you don't have a problem paying shipping with Amazon. So why would you have a problem paying a shipping with me? I'm a business too. So I think it's, we're trying to educate the masses that this is the way to go, right? So I commend you ladies both for the quality that you want to put into your product. I want to talk about vendor relationships, because I know for you, t-shirt lady, you do everything there on site, but that's still vendors you have to deal with to get those colors and those products in. So has it been a challenge for you to find the right vendor to work with throughout the years?
Honestly, no. I did my homework. I did my research. I'm still do research, and I deal with quality companies.
Okay.
So, I haven't had any issues, and I limit how many vendors I deal with. There's some that's willing to give me net 30, willing to give me lines of credit, and I still won't take it because I'm not happy with the products that I may have received. Everybody doesn't understand. Sometimes a vendor may sell a blank shirt, and another vendor may sell the same blank shirt. But that the other one vendor may be getting, shirts that didn't make the production line. Something was wrong with it. It was an error in the stitch or whatever. I can get it for super low, but that's just not my character when it comes to my business. And just to kind of go back to what you were saying earlier about how they don't want to pay shipping and they want it out of the trunk. I always tell people that you have to teach people how to do business with you. Can't have people tell you how to do business. This is your business, and I battled that for a long time, even with my appointments. Like, there's some people that didn't get it, some people that do, and guess what? I cater to the people that get it and understand how I'm operating my business and respect me enough to operate in the same way that I'm going in. Right. So, as far as shipping, if they don't want to pay shipping, you're not my client. You're not the customer that I'm promoting to. You know what I mean? You're not. But as far as my vendors are concerned, like I said, I just been doing research, and sometimes I may drop one for a better one. But I have a solid relationship with my vendors outside of just products, but just with everything going on. All my vendors, I'm constantly getting an email letting us know if this is low on, inventory, or when they're getting things in, they're keeping us updated. Like, this warehouse is closed, don't order from this, or there's a delay from this warehouse, because sometimes you may have a warehouse in California that has one particular brand that the one in, another state may not have. So they've been real truthful and real upfront and informative as far as like what's available, what's not available. So it doesn't waste my time on trying to get that product. That way I can tell my client, hey, that product is not going to get into this date. Are you willing to wait?
Okay.
So I would say I have to give an A+ to my vendors. Yes.
And that's a good thing. Have you felt any impacts yet, T, on based on COVID-19, like warehouses slowing down, closing out, and that type of stuff?
Yeah, it kind of frightened me at one point because one of my vendors like, we can't be open at all. But then like 3 days later, they were open because they was considered essential business because they offer other products.
Okay.
So I'm being affected not by necessarily the vendors themselves, but just clients, because my website is alive and I do get a good portion of sales through my website. But people are so used to hands-on. Like, you would be surprised if I show you that my inbox of people, can I just come in? Like, can I come? Like, do you understand what's going on right now? Like, I'm just, and then, with this new law, like if you're not essential, they catch you opening your business and operating. They have a hotline now where you can call on someone and tell them, hey, they, putting other people's lives at risk. So, to be honest, me and my son, I don't know if you can see behind me, but me and my son the last couple of days been bringing our essential equipment to my home. I'm just fortunate that I have a large home where I can actually operate out of. So I'm just, like I said, concentrating on the people that understand what's going on and they don't mind waiting a few days, to get their packages in the mail. So yeah.
It's the Tasha, I see you shaking your head over there. Yes, it's something real, isn't it?
It really is. But this is, with all that's happening, it's helping people to reconsider what's possible and to be more open to alternative ways of doing business and living life. I also think that people are seeing now more than ever how important small businesses are to their life. And they're appreciating them more. They want to make sure that their favorite t-shirt lady store stays open. They want to make sure that their favorite music store or place to get a smoothie or whatever, like they're concerned genuinely about those places. And so they're willing to, just like she said, they're willing to wait a few extra days. That's okay. Make sure you're safe when you drop packages off to the post office. Like, people are, I think just this has caused a lot of people to pause and really reconsider what elements make their life the way it is. And they're starting to appreciate it more because they can't interact with it the way they used to. But people still want to spend money. They still want to support. They still want to try to have some level of normalcy. So even to be able to take your business and find a way to serve your customers virtually during this time, because that's all we have, that means it makes a big difference because people will grab onto that. This is the closest thing I got to something normal. I'm going to take it. Yeah. And they'll continue to support you. So I think like this is unfortunate that things have happened the way that they have. And I'm overly optimistic about everything. So finding a silver lining in this is helping also for me to keep my sanity. This can make you go crazy real fast.
Yes, I know. Those earrings you're wearing, Tasha, those are pretty. Ooh. Did you make those? Is that part
I did. Yes, ma'am, I did.
Are you home making more earrings as we're in this time?
I have made more. Absolutely. I've been making more jewelry now than I probably have in the past year. And at first, when everything started happening, I felt bad for offering earrings. And because they're not, it's not like you can just grab them like, oh, $12 and that's it. Like you're spending a little bit of money. It's great quality, but they're like $25 earrings or $30 earrings. And I felt like this isn't essential. Like right now, people are focused on buying the necessities, the bare necessities to survive. Who am I to offer jewelry or to make some artwork? Like, why am I offering this? And what I realized is that people aren't paying it. They're not buying this. They're not just getting this. It's when I put these earrings on, how do they make me feel? I feel comfortable. I feel confident. I feel sexy. I feel whatever. And those feelings help them to continue to live their life and have the boldness that they need to do whatever that they do, whether they're speaking live. People are going live. You need earrings to look cute when you're going live, you know what I mean? But the same thing with artwork, when people are getting merch, and even with t-shirts, like those things have an emotional attachment with people. And people want that and they need that. If you're helping people to, to keep their hope alive or to strengthen their faith in whatever, they have faith in, if you're helping them to keep their anxiety down or not to worry so much, or comic relief and just helping them to laugh, like, we need all of that, because if we don't, we would need more therapists than this world could even provide.
Yeah.
I'm glad
you mentioned that, because initially I struggled, the first week or two when we had to really be home. I was like, nobody's checking for t-shirts. Nobody's really going to watch the show. Like, there's other things that were important. And then I thought about it and I was like, you still kind of have to do what you normally do. And I think it's all about the delivery, right? We still have to show empathy and we have to acknowledge what's going on. And I don't think we just can't beat people over the head with our products, right? We continue to just lay it out there and sell it and promote it as we typically do. And people will gravitate to it and do what they need to do, because we're going to mark this time different ways, whether it's through jewelry, whether it's through t-shirts, whether it's through hats, towels, whatever. We're going to try to commemorate these days, like what's going on. So, and it's good for people to know that our business is still here, that we're still here. So if you can support it, if you want to still connect with us, we're still here. So I think that's important to do. I want to talk about social media. The t-shirt lady, let me tell you about that one, Tasha LeRae. She went over there on Instagram be doing some stuff, because she actually shows when she's making shirts. She's done a couple of mine. Thank you so much, t-shirt lady, for doing that. And some other name brands and some other people that we know, local artists, just some clever sayings. And it draws people in. And I think that social media, you really got that thing going on, t-shirt lady. What do you say about that? I mean, come on.
I do what I can. I do what I can. I mean, honestly, I think I use social media. Like, a lot of people try to have a separate page, which I have a personal page, which I'm not on that often.
Right.
But mainly my business page, I still promote myself as a person, because I know we're in a time where it's not, like Tasha said, it's not about, purchasing the product. Sometimes it's just they purchasing from me.
Right.
It's not even the product itself, it's the fact that they want to buy it from me. I tell people all the time, sometimes it's not even the product itself, it's you. So a lot of people ask, why you mix your personal, like you show you and your son, you show selfies, and I said, because they're purchasing from me. So I think I use social media more. I use it for business a lot, but I always try to be transparent in who I am. Because I think people relate and people purchase from me because of who I am. Just for an example, just the other day, one of my clients that lives here, but she frequent, in California a lot because her family's there, recommended someone all the way in California that could have bought a shirt from someone else. And she was like, no, you got to go to t-shirt lady. The young lady asked what she wanted. She went online, I made it available, and she bought t-shirts for her family. And it was like, wow, like, just because that young lady's been in my shop, she knows me, she's was able to touch and grab and actually see me as a person. And I think that was more reason why she referred me. I don't think it was like, oh, I had the best t-shirts in the world. I just think that she can relate, to me as a person. And I do believe that I use social media. At one point I was trying not to use it as much because I felt like I'm pushing it. This. But I'm like, who else is going to push it?
Right.
So I do what I feel like I'm doing. Sometimes I don't post, sometimes I do. But I try to post something every day. And, it's amazing, when I post certain things that I would get, if I stop posting those certain things, I'll get people inboxing me.
Yeah.
Ask me, when you going to do another video? When you going to post this? I didn't see one of those today. So I know that you'd be surprised, even if it's a motivational quote, even if it's a t-shirt, or even if it's a selfie of myself, telling somebody, hey, smile today, it means something. So it's not always about the product. It's about the person behind the product.
Yeah.
Yes, I recommend anyone that's using social media. I understand we're in a time where people feel like, I got to be corporate and I got to be professional. But I just feel like if you let people in just a little bit and just enough, that, you'll see a different result in your business.
Absolutely. Tasha, you agree?
I do. I agree 100%. People love doing business with people that they like, that they identify with. And she hit the nail on the head. Like, that's it.
Yeah, yeah. And I think for you, Tasha, people connect with you because of your voice,
Mhm.
as an artist, when you sing and you perform, you just really light up. And so there's people want to connect with you afterwards. So I think it's excellent that you have product available right after your shows and people can go and get them. And whether it's the earrings, like you said, because we, as ladies, we want to look and feel a certain way, or if it's the t-shirts because we feel we might be angry. And that's a very good message, to smash out racism. And so I think it's really good. I'm learning to get a little bit more comfortable because I too, t-shirt lady, I was kind of like, this is a corporate thing,
Yeah.
that's the business, what I do personally, that's my business. Nobody needs to know what I'm doing, but it's a connection. They want to know that I am a mom and I have a relationship with my son and we do things together and, motivational things, or I'm supporting other people or whatever that is, because every little bit helps, right? And it just helps infuses the brand in what you're doing. So there's you as the woman, the individual or the person, and then there's your brand. And whether we like it or not, sometimes people still connect to what you do as a person. That bleeds into your brand, and so it just makes sense. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
Do we think that the climate is still very sensitive? Should we change our messaging? Do we have to show more empathy? Do we still show product? Like, how do we manage our merchandise? How do we handle this stuff now with these times being so sensitive? And we don't know what the end time is going to be, that we have to be shelter in place. What do you think, Tasha? What do you think we need to do? How do we need to move this merchandise?
Well, first of all, I feel like that you shouldn't change your message unless you were already in the process to change your message. So whatever it is now, you can't adapt it because times are changing and we do need to be reflective of what's happening now. So being sensitive to that, absolutely. But something as simple as like with t-shirts. I put up a post the other day. I was like, are you tired of doing laundry? Do you need just like 2 more shirts? If you just had 2 more shirts to buy you a little bit more time before you had to wash all your clothes, things like that. People can relate to that, so just if you switch your messaging up, something like that. I'm telling you, look, as I have laundry everywhere right now. It's all clean, but I do not want to put it away. But just continuing to show up in your space, whatever that means, and being who you are, that does more for our customers and our fans than we could ever know. They and whatever strengths they get from us, sometimes they won't even tell us. We might not ever know some of those things, but for the t-shirt lady to post a selfie and she's smiling, somebody somewhere needed that smile. And you don't know exactly what people are going through at the time, and people are losing so many family members left and right. It's not even like it's uncanny. People pass every day. That's a normal thing, but this is accelerated and it is scary. Because we can't control all of that stuff out there, we control what we have control over. And like if we want to have a positive outlook, if we want to make sure we manage our emotions and expectations to protect us, then that's what we can do. We could do that. But if we choose to panic and be worried and scared to live our life, that has a different effect on us. But that's also our choice, and we're free to make that choice. But I choose to be as optimistic as possible. Like this thing happened and my income got cut 75%. I said 100% at first, but I was like, no, because I still had the jewelry, still got the t-shirts, and people were still purchasing. Wow. But it wiped everything. I was like, my apartment's not cheap, my car's not cheap, and how are we gonna do it? It was scary, but it's like, no, I'm gonna keep showing up. I'm alive right now in this time for a reason, and I'm gonna continue with the message that I have to share, and we'll adapt it when we need to. If I feel scared, I'm gonna allow myself to feel scared, but I just can't keep in that space for a long time. Right. You know what I mean? So I hope I answered your question.
No, you did. That was good. That was good. T-shirt lady, you're smiling over there. You feel, I guess you feel the same way, same sentiments?
Well, I mean, since I do custom shirts, people expect me to change with the climate. So anything that happens in the news, anything that's big, people expect me to have shirts for it. you know, a lot of times I don't like to profit off of people's death, like making sure people that passed away, you know, for certain instances, people reach out to me like, hey, did you make a shirt for this? Did you make a shirt for that? So, you know, I got the courage in the last few days to come up with a few designs, you know, with some humor attached to what's going on. So, I mean, I do agree that, you know, sometimes it's sensitive in a sense, but I think what I do, and I have to separate me personally from the business because I'm a t-shirt lady. People expect me to make custom t-shirts. People expect me to put things that's funny. People expect me to put things on a shirt that's controversial, you know, but some things I don't do, some things I'm not willing to do, some things I will do. So I think people expect that of me. So to a certain degree, I do expect that of myself as well. So I just feel like as far as the climate, as far as changing with it, I'm still promoting my business like I have. I always promoted online. I always had a website. I have had a website for the last 15 years. So it's always been a thing for me to be online, to push that. So a lot of my customers already know that, hey, she has a website. Some of them don't know, you know, so I go with the times and I go with the flow, and I'm just here, and I'm just like Tasha, I'm optimistic. I don't know how many posts I put up with being optimistic about everything. I just feel like it's out of my control, what's outside of my control. And I think once people stop trying to control what's out of their control and control what they can control, that they'll see a different, you know, result.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. I think this said that she left the meeting.
I'm back.
Oh, yay! There we go. Okay.
Yeah, I think I lost the connection there for a minute, but I think we're back. I don't know. You guys can see me, hear me?
Can see you.
Okay. Do I have Jack? I don't know if I have the.
I'm here. The feeds got switched up again.
Okay. We're okay?
They're still going. They still hear you guys. Just don't look the same. Let's have a good show.
All right. So we'll continue. Technology at its finest, right? So that's that's what's going on, right? So we can't get it any more live than that. So thanks, ladies, for still hanging out there. But yeah, it's just a real critical time. Everything that's going on. We are so dependent upon the internet and just the way that we move each day is just crazy. Let's turn my video. It's just crazy the way that we're dependent on our internet. I wanted to ask a t-shirt lady, you do t-shirts, but you do everything else. Like you're wearing a button. I see the picture of you and Vince on your jacket over there, and your t-shirt. And then it's on your glass, on your storefront, and you do everything. Is there anything else you want to do that you haven't done yet?
Retire.
Good answer.
I think you lost me for a second. Said that somebody stopped my video, but yeah, retire.
Retire. That's what
I think right now I got my hands on enough. You know, I'm trying to actually cut down on some of the things that I offer because it can be overwhelming. Some products I don't even touch myself. You know, depending on what it is. You know, if I have 10,000 pieces, I'm not printing them, but I have people in place that can print with the same quality that I expect to give my customers. So, I mean, no, not right now. I don't want to dabble in any extra products right now because it's, like I said, it's a little overwhelming, and I'm kind of cutting back. Actually, on my website, I'm adding products and deleting products because I just don't want to be all over the place.
Right.
And now is actually a time for me to strengthen my business because I'm realizing which vendors I can depend on, which vendors are taking this in a positive way how I'm trying to take it, and I know who I want on my team when I come out of this. So some vendors, they're not, you know, probably a vendor that I may deal with in the future because I may not want to actually have their products any longer. So I don't want to add anything else at the moment, but when I do, you definitely will see it on my social media.
No, I know that's right. I can't wait. I want to ask you, t-shirt lady, because you're so seasoned in as being a businesswoman. You've been in Atlanta doing it now for 17 years. You have a strong affiliation with your alumni with Georgia State, right? You went to Georgia State?
Yes, I did, yes.
So you have they come, I've seen it with my own eyeballs while I was at the store where they would come, students or alumni. It's like they know to buy their merchandise from you. So that's a wonderful thing. I want you to share with us, if at all, what could we do to strengthen our merchandise as you've done over the years? Is there any tips or suggestions you could share with us?
Strengthen your merchandise. That's really broad. Broad question. I could probably talk for a long time. It really depends on the person's situation. You know, I always tell people, I do consultations, and I always ask people like, what's the issue that you're having? You know, then once they tell me what the issue is, then I can kind of help them. But it's real broad to say what you can do to strengthen your merchandise. I mean, the number one thing is to find someone reliable.
Okay.
Number one, you know, someone reliable, someone that looks at your product as if it was theirs. When any t-shirt leaves out, I'm not perfect. I'm sure I had a shirt here and there that somebody probably wasn't happy with.
Right.
But overall, I treat each product and each person, whether they're getting one shirt or they're getting 1,000 shirts, as if it was mine. What I want my customer to wear this product. So number one, I mean, without going into all full details, because I don't know the information of the person that's asking this question, but it's to get a reliable and dependable printer that has integrity, because your brand is going to go as far as their brand is going. Yes.
And I would second that too. I think that's great advice. And I think the other element is knowing our audience. I think oftentimes we come to you and we want you to create magic for us, and you'll ask us, well, who is this for? Like, is it for young people, older people, black, white, male, female? Like, is it like, who are you trying to sell this product to? Who are you trying to reach? So I think knowing your target audience is always important. And would you agree that it's okay to change? I think sometimes, and I'm gonna speak from personal experience, when I first got into it, I might have felt like I couldn't make changes, but you have to change with the times, right? As things change, your vision may change for your business, right? So is that okay?
And people like change. Like if you do your research on big, large corporations, McDonald's logo hasn't always been the same. It looked the same, but if you do your research, you'll realize that even they change their logos.
Right.
One thing that I do notice, since you're mentioning certain things, now I can kind of talk upon it, is that I get a lot of customers that come in and they have like 10 designs and they want to print all 10 of them.
Right.
And I'm like, no, I can take your money. I can print all 10 designs for you, but that's just, it doesn't sit well with me knowing that I can give somebody advice that I've made mistakes on. Right. So I always tell people, if you have a few designs, maybe print one or two. Don't put so much in front of your audience that they don't know what to choose from when you're giving, and then you got to give them something to look forward to. So, you know, you have 10 designs, maybe print 2, maybe print 3, see how that moves, see what people are gravitating to the most. You know, Tasha has, you know, racism sucks. Like her shirt can just be itself. She doesn't have to make another t-shirt ever again, really. She can concentrate on that because she has a niche market that she's catering to. But someone that has designs all over the place as just a brand for them may mean something else to someone else. So you have to kind of choose and pick and be wise about your choices on what you're going to release. And I do believe that change is good. I believe in changing up your logo is good. You know, not to the point where it's like the people don't recognize your brand anymore, but they know, oh, that's you. You know, like I tell my son all the time, I'm like, our face is our face. Nobody can take that from us. I said, but I guarantee you I can take, even though I advertised the T-shirt lady and son, or the T-shirt lady before it became T-shirt lady and son, with the wording underneath it, if I remove the wording, people will still know who we were.
Exactly.
So, you know, I always tell people to push your brand into a point where when people see that shirt, they know that it relates to her. And they know, oh, that's her brand, without even having a brand or a label on it.
Yeah, that's iconic. That's iconic. Very good. That's good. Tasha, what about you? What advice would you give people trying to come into merchandising and having a product? What would you say to them, Tasha?
All the advice that's already been given, I agree with 100%. To speak a little bit about the not too many choices in front of your audience, if you give somebody too many things to pick from, they're not going to pick anything, because all of a sudden it's going to become overwhelming. So even if you just had one design and maybe it was available in 2 colors, all they have to pick is what color they want and what size. And to keep those thought or those choices at a minimum really makes it easy for people to make a decision. Understanding your audience is a huge thing. because it's, for people, if they ever want to get into drop shipping, or if they want to, purchase a lot of merchandise. If you say, I want to do shirts, mugs, hats, baby clothes, toddler tees, and you do all of this, but your core audience is, teenagers, then that's going to be a problem. You don't need half that stuff you just said. Or if your demographic is, women 40 and over, but you have these crop tops and ain't none of them dry fit, we're going to have some issues. You know what I mean? So like really understanding who you're targeting, it's important. And the thing is for some people, they're just like, I just had this idea. I just want to go for it. It's okay to do that. A lot of us started that way. But at some point, you have to sit down and face those questions and ask them. You can't be exempt from figuring out who your target customer is. You can't be exempt from knowing why you're offering, what product or what problem does your product serve? What is your product answer to? If you can't answer those questions, you're not going to be in business for long. And it'll also give you a false sense of failure, because you might have a really, really dope idea, but if you don't take the time to do that piece of your homework, that can stunt the growth of your business.
Awesome. I'm going to ask this question. Have you ladies ever thought about quitting? And if so, why didn't you? So Tasha, let me start with you. You thought about giving this up, this
merchandise? I quit this stuff so much. I quit. But no, I kept going back to my reason why I started in the first place. And that helped to be like, okay, what's the real issue that I need to deal with, and how can I fix this? And, facing those problems, it does help your business to become stronger. It makes your foundation stronger. But sometimes I was just like, just take all these shirts, just dump them in the garbage, and, but it can be nerve-wracking. But the reason why I do this, the people that I serve and the problem that I get to present a solution for, are more important to me than the inconveniences of whatever issues that would make me want to quit.
Awesome. T-shirt lady, how about you? Have you often thought, I'm closing these doors, man, this is crazy, I ain't dealing with this rent, I'm not doing it? No. But why did you say, I'm going to keep going?
I mean, honestly, I love what I do. And
you do.
Of course, like every month, actually, I would say I'm like ready to give up or quit. And sometimes it's not even because of what I'm doing that's overwhelming. Sometimes it's some of the people that you deal with that kind of make you want to just say, let me stop doing this because I'm not being appreciated. But then I think about the people that do appreciate me. I think about the people that are watching me. I think about the people that send me emails, send me phone calls saying, hey, I'm proud of you. I'm watching you. You didn't give up. It made me stay, doing what I'm doing. So I've realized that my business is not just a product. And like I said, go back to what I was saying, it's me and what I'm delivering. And sometimes it could be inspiration. It could be motivation. So a lot of times, and I have my son watching me. He's not gonna let me give up. He's been around. He's 21. He's been 3-4 years old when I started this business. So there's times when I wanted to quit when he was 9-10 years old. He's like, "You can't quit. You told me we can't be quitters." And I'm like, "Wow, I did tell you that, didn't I?" So it came back to bite me. But I think a lot of times when I do get overwhelmed, like I said, it's not the business itself, because I love what I do. I just think that it's a little harder for me as a business owner and being so attached and so involved in my business that I don't take breaks. I don't take vacation as often as I would, compared to someone that may have a 9-to-5 that you're giving paid vacation. When I take vacation, all income stops for me. So I have to be strategic when, I say, well, I'm going on a break, I'm closing my doors. For instance, like this, where I'm forced to close my doors, but still can't take a vacation.
Right.
I'm like wishing right now I could take a vacation. This would be prime time. This would be the perfect opportunity for me to take a vacation. But of course, I feel like I say I want to quit sometimes. I feel like I want to quit sometimes, but I know inside of me that I will never quit. Like, this is something that I love to do. This is something that I've done out of my house. This is something I've done in a garage. This is something I've done out of a storage unit. So I know that the passion for me is there. To be who I am. And I just love what I do. I'm always finding something new to do, something, exciting about my business, it's just something that I love to do. So I would never really quit. And I want to make sure that I'm an inspiration to other people. But if I ever feel like I really wanted to stop doing this for a living, I'm not going to let how everyone else feels, determine if I feel like this is a healthy choice for me, mentally and physically. But right now I'm just like, hey, you're going to have your days like you have with a 9-to-5, you get tired of that too. You want to quit. So we all want to quit something at one point. It's just a matter of whether or not we do.
Yeah. Are you thinking of having some apprentices under you, T-shirt lady? Because you know that shirt, I mean, that store is going to transcend, like that's going to be here forever.
Yeah.
So could you ever thought about having some young apprentices work in
I
this?
have. I haven't. I won't say I haven't had good experiences with all, but it's hard, to have certain people under you because sometimes people come in and to be honest, I'm real stern and I'm serious about my business. So a lot of times when interns come in or apprentices come in, a lot of times they think they're gonna go straight to the machine. I have to teach you, you're not here just to learn the machines, you're here to learn business.
Right.
Means go grab that broom over there and let's get to sweeping because I still sweep.
Right.
So a lot of times people don't understand. Sometimes people come in and I think sometimes it depends on who they intern with before, if they ever been an intern. But I think we have to teach people, especially the youth and younger people that's trying to learn from us, that it's more to business than the fun part that you see.
Right.
So if you have an apprentice, you have an intern that come in and help you with cameras or whatever she's doing for you, she also has to know, hey, I sweep too. I make sure the desk, the tables around me are dust free, and just know operating business because once you go, I'm assuming these interns want to go and start a similar business. So don't spoil them in a sense where they're just doing just the fun stuff. Then when they start their own business, they have no idea how to even cope with the real daily, day-to-day functions of a business. So, I mean, I think about it. I have had some. It's just a matter of finding ones that really get and understand that when you come and you work under me, I'm teaching you business, not just my craft.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's important. Tasha, for you, I know it's an opportunity because there are several people in the artist or creative space that don't know how to handle merchandise. They don't know how to really get it off the ground. They may second guess themselves. They don't have a vendor, how to really produce it. So are you interested into sharing and talking with other people and how to get their stuff going?
Absolutely. I do some some coaching calls with a few people. I recently had a couple people reach out to me when all this stuff started happening with COVID-19, which was really awesome. I was on the phone for about an hour and a half, and when I got off, I was like, I just got paid some good money to talk about stuff I talk about all the time. Like I love talking about it, but in being able to help somebody take in something that's an idea for them and to help them bring life to that does something for me anyway. But it's definitely important to do. I think to like what T-shirt lady was saying, some people want to go right into go straight to the machines, straight to the design stuff. And you have to take care of all the other things too. Because if I go to the T-shirt lady and I buy, 48 shirts from her and I have them in my house, but I haven't thought about how I'm going to reach my customer, market or promote these things, then I'm going to be like, I just spent a whole bunch of money and I'm staring at my money. You know what I mean? So it's like having that plan. And then if I sell my shirt, okay, I make a good $30 real quick. All right, now what do I do with the $30? You know what I mean? And if I just take that $30, okay, how many more shirts can I get with this? And spend all of it on inventory. You're going to have a bunch of inventory with a business that has a negative cash flow.
Right.
So understanding how finances play a huge part in how you manage those finances with your business, it's literally the lifeline of the business. So giving yourself time to learn all of these things so that you can have a healthy business and a thriving business is super important, even if you're doing drop shipping.
Yeah, it's very important. And oftentimes we just don't think about that. We think about the idea, we run with it. We don't think about capital and starting it up or just really how to really get it off the ground. We don't emerge ourselves with other people that know the business. We just want to and then we get disappointed and disenfranchised when our merchandise is not moving. And so these are excellent points. When this COVID-19 gets out of the way, we're going to have some seminars and workshops really with women, of course, younger women, teaching them business because they don't know. Everything is a quick hit and fix with IG, and everybody can't be an IG model. right?
Right.
So there has to be an opportunity, like if you got a craft or some merchandise or product, like how do we get this product off the ground? So I definitely am going to be close to you ladies to ask you to come back and talk to the youngins on how they can do it. So I want to ask as we wrap up, so Tasha Lorette, what do you got going on? What's going on? How can people find you, find your merchandise, etc.?
Yeah, so I'm just continuing to create jewelry and t-shirts and art and singing, all of it. If you want to find me, the best way to find me, if you go to Instagram, my Instagram is at Miss Tasha Larae, MSTASHALARAE. That's the best place, and I'm there mostly. But if you're interested in checking out the jewelry or art I create, you can go to madebytashalarae.etsy.com. And I'm there. Keep on creating, writing music, doing more shows. Yeah.
Awesome. T-shirt lady, how can they find you? Oh, talented one.
Well, I'm gonna give my Instagram as well as my website. They can reach me at on my Instagram at the T-shirt lady. That's THETSHIRTLADY. And if they want to follow me, my son and I's page, they can just add and son to that. And as well as my website, thetshirtlady.com.
You know when you hot when people can do a Google search for t-shirts and your name pops up. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying, Tasha? Like when you say t-shirts,
she is the queen.
And then her name comes up, then you know you hitting on something here in Atlanta. So, congratulations to both of you ladies. I'm so thankful you were able to spend some time with us today and talk about how to handle your merchandise. It was very informative. It helped me in some areas, and I know it helped the listeners. Thank you so much, ladies, for your time. For those that are watching, you guys know where to reach me. I'm Real Chicks Rock. I am everywhere. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook, and we have a website, realchicksrock.com. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss one of these episodes. We are everywhere, iHeartRadio, Spotify, sliding into Pandora, iTunes. We're doing it. We've got syndication popping left and right, so we thank you, everybody, for your time to listen to us. We want you guys to continue to be well. Thanks to my guests. Thank you, ladies, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys take care of yourself, be well, and continue to rock on. Bye.
Yeah. See you later.
Bye.